got it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the YanBar Podcast. Bryan Barcelo hosts this episode. Today's guest, stand-up comedian and host of the What the What podcast, Jerry Dymond. What's good, man?
How are you doing today? Thank you for having me on your show, on your podcast. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, and thank you for accepting the invite.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hey, check this out, Jerry. I got to be honest with you, man. I'm hating on you a little bit. You know what it is? Yeah, your last name. It's hard. I love it. I wish I had a cool last name like that, Jerry Dymond. I was sitting up here thinking like maybe Brian Sapphire or something like that. You know, hey, that's not bad, right? But check it out. That's your actual name. That's not a stage name?
Yes, my actual name.
Uh-oh. What happened? Our sound went out. I hope we got a lip reader.
It's my actual name.
Sound went out.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you right now, and I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Nothing. Let me see. Hold on. It might be on my end.
I can hear you.
Say something now?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, that's good. So it's some kind of glitch on my end. And I think it may be proximity with this wireless thing. So what I'm going to do, move back a little bit. And that could be it. My apologies.
That's okay.
Anyhow and stuff. Dymond, I love that last name. And I said, man, I wish I had a cool name like that, man. And that's not a stage name. That's your actual name?
Yes, my actual name.
Wow, that is so cool. You know what? Going to school, it was this guy, it was in grade school. His name was Matt Decker. You can put that, Matt Decker. What a cool name. And he looked like a Matt Decker. Blonde hair, attractive guy, slim, tall, girls just love him. He said, Matt Decker, Matt. I said, man, I wish I had a cool name like that. And so Jerry Dymond, I like that. That's beautiful. And Jerry,
here's the thing about my name. A lot of people didn't like my name. They always spell my name wrong. They spell it with an I instead of a Y.
Really?
Yeah, and I had to point out to them, no, I'm poor.
You're right. That's like a poor name.
I know. And another thing, my name Jerry is spelled with a J. They always spelled it with a G. I thought, hello, you see me wearing a bra?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And Jerry, let's say long time no see. I think we first met at the Hudson River Coffee House.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it was, yes.
Yeah, and I think the last place that I saw you, besides here, the Hudson River Coffee House and stuff.
What are you, new? Oh, God. Watch your time. Watch your time. Watch your time. What's wrong with you? You expanding your horizons or what? There's a lot to bite there. Listen, I've been seeing you bite that chicken all night long, for God's sake. What's wrong with you? That was awesome. I know. Tomorrow morning you have a heart attack. Not gonna hospital again. Oh my God. You're going 500. He's not gonna see 500. No. One thing you see 500 miles of chicken going one way. What is wrong? Get it together, will you? God, now you make me nervous. My God. 500's coming sometime near the future near you. Might want to be here. Get it together, will you? All right. Let me throw that Magic 8 Ball, see if you'll be here in the 500 show. I doubt it.
What have you been doing since then?
Well, I've been doing a lot of Zoom comedy lately because of the pandemic. I've done some shows. Everything was hiatus for a while. I went through a deep, dark time in my life. Back 5 years ago, I was in a dark depression and I was stopped doing comedy. I tried to commit suicide a couple of times. And thank God I didn't succeed in doing that. But, I got back into it again. And, I have a lot of help and support and my loved ones and everything. And so I got back into it. And some of my comedian friends, I don't remember Ed Smythe. Do you remember Ed Smythe?
No, perhaps if I saw him.
He had the talk at the Trino, the golf, the tennis ball, Wally.
Wow, no, I'm sorry. I definitely would remember that. I maybe didn't see him on the night he was there, yeah. But
he's been my good friends for quite a while, and sometimes we do shows together, and we do a lot of open mics together. But I've been back into hiatus. I started a podcast, and I did it first for at Larch Tavern up in Albany a while back, before everything happened. And then once I went to my dark place 5 years ago, I stopped doing everything for a while, and then after 5 years, I got back into it again, and people were very supportive and welcomed me back and everything, and were there for me, and it was very good. So, and then of course I had some shows lined up, and then COVID hit. So
So everything was on hiatus, and then they started doing. They kept us doing this comedy Zoom, and I got really into it, and I still do it today because I can do 2 or 3 Zooms a night compared to doing one show or one open mic a night. So I traveling to Albany or Schenectady or Troy to do a mic or a show. I can do it right here on right here on Zoom. So it's very beneficial, especially for me, and it helped me do better with my comedy and everything. And plus, now I do my podcast. I do a lot of things about. I have a podcast called Jerry What the What Dymond. It's a show about anything and everything. And what that means is that I do talk about whatever you want, the weather, yourself, what's going on in the world, things like that. That's what my podcast. Right now, podcast number 50. So I'm sorry, 76.
Wow.
So far I've done 76 podcasts. I do it once a week. And it's been really good. I've had someone on, another comedian on last week, and hopefully next weekend we'll get together after that to see what day you're available to be on my podcast. I
would love to do that.
Well, yeah, I'd love that. Happy to have you on. I do an hour podcast, talk about whatever's on your mind, and we get feedback. My friends on Facebook. I do on Facebook because I like to do things for my fans that can't afford to come to my shows, stuff like that. So I do a Saturday night show. If I ain't got a show going, I do here at my own house. I put on a show with puppets and sometimes myself, So really, it's been really booming. As a matter of fact, this weekend, this Sunday, I'm going to be in Dorn Space in Gloversville, New York. I'm up for my 6th award in the last 9 years doing it. I say 9 years in April. I'm up my 6th comedy award in space.
Wow, congratulations.
Yep.
Now,
and I'm also doing a show here in my hometown and believe. What's that?
Oh, I was just saying, congratulations. Yeah. And we're gonna
I'm
sorry, yeah, we're getting a little stutter here in our streaming. Yeah, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
that's the way I talk. But thank you. I used to be a real bad stutterer back in my day. And then I graduated in my adulthood to a lisp. I have a disability. I have a lisp. And for the longest time, I was so embarrassed about talking about it. And but I found out as I became a comedian doing things, I found out there are celebrities in the world as lisp. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Porky Pig, Duck, and Jimmy Fallon from the Tonight Show. They all.
Uh-oh, our transmission is breaking up. One moment, please.
Okay.
Okay, now, Jerry, congratulations on the awards. And also congratulations on getting out of that dark place. And I'm sorry, you had to go through that. What I'm curious about, I don't really want you to reminisce that, but I'm just curious because comedians, they seem like happy people, because when we see them, there's jokes and stuff. But it seems that comedians, I'm thinking Robin Williams.
Yes.
It seems like, they make us laugh, but they're not really laughing too. I mean, is this a common thing with comedians, perhaps? I don't know.
It is. Yes, it is. Because I've heard a lot of it, on open mics and on shows, actually. And yeah, a lot of them are in pain and a lot of them are in therapy, now. And they still do because this is their happy spot. This is what I do. The way everything's going today in my world and the whole world around us, it's very sad. And I find to do my comedy, my pain as a gift of laughter. I've always wanted to be a stand-up comedian when I was younger. I'm the oldest of 5 brothers, and I'm the oddest brother in the family. I really am.
No.
Yeah, I am. I'm the oldest, but the oddest, And apparently it skips a generation. That comes 2 generations. I don't know. But no, my brothers, they all like to swear. Their favorite word is the F word, kind of like their grades in school back in the day. But I don't swear my sets. I really don't. As to say the word, I say the B word. That's about it. But I don't really swear my set because that's how I was taught. I was a younger kid, and that's how I kind of remember things. And it's called respect for the parents. Right. But there's been a lot of pain in my life. My real mother left me when I was a year and a half old. Me and my brother. My brother was 6 months old, and I was a year old. So I basically saved my younger brother's life. And then I didn't know I had a stepmother too. I was like 11 years old, and I thought my mom left her apron string became using her G string for because she was a hooker, a stripper, and so that was kind of painful. And then my life was kind of abnormal. I was a very brave kid, but I always loved comedy. I always whenever I see the comedy show or a sitcom, I found kind of relief in it when I watched it. It made me feel good about myself because I felt like I wasn't alone with my pain. There are other people out there that have a lot of pain in their life, and they're joking about it, and that's what I find myself doing. I find my pain as a reliever and tell a story about my life, and it's funny, and I feel good, and I get awards for it. So yay, my life sucks, but I'm getting awards for it, But to me, I always wanted to be a comedian, and I never got to be that way until I was in my late 40s, and and now I just came up with. I just realized I was going back to my life recently. I've done 20 years of farming. I've done 20 years of retail, and I'm hopefully making it 20 years as a comedian. And that way I come up with the theory that yes, I did 20 years of shoveling crap. I've done 20 years of dealing with crap, and now I'm doing 20 years of saying crap.
Jerry, how was it that you pulled out of the dark space? I mean, without getting into too many details about what's going on, how did you get out of it? Maybe you can help somebody else with the info.
Well, I was in the hospital. I was put in the hospital and on the mental ward, and I had doctors and therapists, and they talked to me, and and I listened to the people, and between the medicine, I had really bad chemical imbalance in my system. So they put me on medicine, and some medicines were not good. They made me suicidal, and they had to take me off certain medicines and give me the right medication, and to get me where I am today. I'm not 100% healed, but I'm much better than I was 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
And no longer contemplating?
No. I mean, like I said, I'm still in therapy. My therapist, I have a good therapist. I went to a lot of therapy because they sucked. They weren't really helpful. But now I finally have a therapist that really actually cares and understands and works for me. So I find that more helpful, and more comforting.
Understood. So I guess the advice would be to shop around with your therapist or something.
Yeah, pretty much. And make sure your insurance covers it.
Yeah, I was going through that with dental a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, dental and mental. So you got to watch out for those things. Hey,
Yep.
check this out. Where do you get your material from? Is it
My
from
life.
the pit? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Got any examples of like one of your big jokes and stuff that actually coincides with life or something, or where you got it from?
Sure. I just came out. I just did one recently. It's a really killer. I'm engaged for the 20th time. Yay! And my daughter, who's actually in college, she's starting to be archaeologist, so she's digging for her future. And the thing to my daughter is she's 28 years old, she's a virgin. And mothers say that I hope that our daughters marry like lawyers and doctors. In my case, I hope my daughter marries an archaeologist because the older she gets, the more interesting I'll find her.
That's pretty good.
But I also have another one. In high school, I dated a girl in school I've known all my life. I started dating in 9th grade, and we dated for a week. And I come to find out a week later that she had some good news and bad news. I was, oh, great, this is going to be a short relationship. And she goes, oh, no. She goes, well, what's the bad news? She goes, we're related. I go, what? She goes, yeah, you're my 5th cousin. I go, that's impossible. She goes, why do you say that, Jerry? I said, I don't remember kissing my last 4 cousins. How did you get to cousin number 5? And I said, well, what's the good news? She goes, well, we can still date. I said, no, thank you. After my 4th cousin, I kind of call it quits right there.
It's your limit.
And I went home crying to my mom about this. My mom goes, well, son, if it's bothering you that much, quit counting them.
Exactly.
And my daughter goes, you've been married to mom. How'd you meet mom? I said, mixed drinks. How'd we get here? I said, again, mixed drinks. Weren't you married a second time? I said, yes. Well, how was that? I said, it was pretty hazy. I was doped up. Playing Mary Jane. But Dad, did you make other girls ever laugh in your life? I said, yes, every one of them. Every time I took my pants off, they laughed hysterically back the way the subway where they're guaranteed to get 6 inches or more.
Oh.
And then my daughter goes, well, what was the best thing out of all the girls you dated? I said, well, none of them were my cousins.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And Jerry, tell us something about, we had mentioned Hudson River Coffee House. And I know you said that you're doing things online now and streaming, which is a real cool thing to do. How important do you think these open mics are for the community, for the artists, and just people in general?
They're very important. They are very important. As I started doing comedy 9 years ago, comedy was very little in Albany, New York. Everything was either down New York City or LA. And when I got into it 9 years ago, and got into it, I went to the Comedy Works, and I think took a class there for 7 weeks back 9 years ago, when it was back across from the hospital. Now it's in Saratoga Springs now. And I learned from that. And then I went to, she told me all places to go for open mics and dollar bars, and then, and a lot of these comedians are really grown, have really grown in many years. I've known some that quickly doing. Have you ever heard of Jay McBride?
No.
No, okay. Well, she's been there a couple of times, and but they're not there a lot. But there's recently on the new Channel 10 here, Erin Harps, who was actually a musician. She did a lot of music, and she did some comedy, but more musical stuff. Is now doing comedy and musical. And Jim McCullough, they're both on Channel 10 News. As a matter of fact, we have the Funny Bones up here now at Crossgates Mall. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. And so Erin Harps has recorded her first album, and she's a native here from upstate New York, from Albany, New York. And she's been doing it for over 10 years. And the same as Jen McCollum. And now, as a matter of fact, she's recorded her first album, Erin Harps at the Funny Bones about a month or two ago, and it was fabulous. Oh. And Jay McBride, she started out the comedy work. As a matter of fact, she graduated with me, but she's also has won several competitions, and she got to go to the Boston for the Boston Festival competition, which they don't have no longer. I don't know why, but people are very competitive. And they grow, and they love to do what they do, and they get out there, and they even put on their own shows to bring the crowds in. They're making money, so they're doing really good. It's very important now for comedy to be around where it is, because it helps people do better. It tells about their lives instead of like drinking or doing drugs or committing suicide. They can tell life and make fun of themselves, and then actually get paid for telling their stories. So it's very important for us comedians to do what we do.
Get out there and practice craft, test out new material.
Right.
Yeah, get that experience and stuff.
Yeah,
and Jerry,
exactly. The more experience you have, the better you do.
Yeah, man. And just before we get too far into the podcast, can you tell people about your podcast, where you can find it, where they can find you online, where they can check out your shows, the date and time? And of course, we're going to put that in the description too.
Sure. You can find me. I do a podcast every Saturday, sometimes Sunday, on Facebook Live. You find everything on my page or on my YouTube channel, Jerry What Dymond. That's my YouTube channel. It has my podcast and my shows on it. Everything I've done, from open mics to actual shows I've done. You can see all that on my YouTube channel. If you don't see it on my page, it's on my YouTube channel.
That's what's up.
And I do a podcast. I actually do sometimes. Depends on what's going on the weekend, if I have a show or not, but I try to do shows either on Saturday or Sunday. I try to do Sundays because that's when everybody's not doing anything. And it used to be 7 o'clock, now I do it 8 o'clock because it's summertime. So like this weekend, I can't do it. I'm going to do it on Saturday because I'm going to be away on Sunday. I'm doing a Dorn Space. I'm doing a show, and I'm watching for an award. So I can't do it. So I try to make it so that everyone who can't come to the shows, I make it available for them, just because everybody, the way the world is today, we need some kind of laughter in our life. Right. And if I can give that laughter to people, whether they're paying for a show or getting it for free on my Facebook page, it makes me feel good about myself. I'm actually selling T-shirts, as a matter of fact, that has my picture. Can you see it?
Yes.
Here, let me stand up quick.
All right.
I got my sayings on here as well.
All right, Jerry's standing up now. He's showing us the back of the shirt. It's going in and out, but I can see a lot of writing on the back of it. Not right now. It went out.
I'll tell you what they say. I'll tell you what they say. They say, what? Are you new? Happy, happy, happy. Funny, funny, funny. Sad, sad, sad. Here's the shirt, actually. My fiance just brought out for me.
But it's okay, though. Well, no, I can't see it yet. But when people order, they can take a real good look at it.
All right, hold
It
on a
look like a
second.
nice shirt, yeah. Oh, now I can see you.
Oh,
Oh,
hold
it keeps
on.
going in and out.
Hold on.
All right. Okay, we can see the front pretty good. And the back disappeared again.
Hold on a second.
All right. It disappeared again.
Hold on. Hold
right.
on.
It disappeared again.
Yeah, it's not about.
I don't know. I wonder what's up with that. But
No,
don't
hold on
concern
a
yourself with it. We'll show them to you now and make sure I edit this properly.
Yeah,
So
hold on a
that it'll
second. Here
work.
we go. Oh, come on.
It's going
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Technology's here. It's a wonderful thing when it works.
Yeah. You know, I'm amazed that it works at all.
I know, right?
You know, this is actually working out to be a good routine here. I'm enjoying
I know,
this.
right?
I still can't see it. Don't worry about it, Jerry. We'll make sure we get a picture of something up and show everybody.
Yeah, I'll put it on Facebook. I'll send it to you on your page.
All right. I appreciate that. And check this out. As customary with the podcast, I like to give the guests last words, parting words, so to speak. And I know we're getting down to it and stuff. So if there's anything that we didn't cover, please mention it. And
Well,
if we, yeah,
I
go
got a
ahead.
show
I'm
coming
sorry.
up. I got a show coming July 15th in my hometown of Glacier, New York. It's me and two other comedians doing a show here. And I generally put a show here in my hometown every year, but because of COVID, the last few years, as a matter of fact, before COVID hit, I had a show scheduled here in Malaysia, New York, at a theater, the Malaysia Theater. It's on in Malaysia, Main Street of Malaysia, right across the Main Street Diner. But COVID hit, so everything got canceled. But now it's my first actual show since COVID has been cleared out that we're doing a show there again. I'm going to price for tickets yet. I'll be getting them in the next 2 weeks, how much they're going to be. And I'm going to be selling these shirts that sell for $20. And all the procedures of these shirts that I sell will go towards mental health. Mental health is a charity of my choice, as I believe in, because we need more research into mental health. We really do. And more research for it. Because as a person with mental illness himself, wants to find cures and better ways to get, out more research out there for people that can get help that need it. There's a number now to call. If you feel like that you're going to harm yourself or others, you just call 988. It used to be 800 number, but now it's 988 or call 911. If you call 988, you'll get somebody online and they'll help you and guide you and get you to where you need to be.
Excellent. That's very good. It's like you're doing a public service. Not just comedy, you're doing public services. That's a beautiful thing.
I do it all.
And you're right about the mental health, super important. I see a lot of stuff on the news, so I'm sure you do too. And I can't help but to think a lot of that has to do with people suffering some kind of mental illness.
Right. And when these shirts, hopefully these shirts do, they have a picture of me and what I do. I'm holding the 8-ball in my shirt. And
behind the 8-ball.
here at the 8-ball.
Oh, cool.
That's on my picture that I'm holding in the background of this poster that I made up. So, and I want the people to feel good about themselves. I want them to know that they have support and there's help out there. And, if I did on my show, I always say, if today was my last day, and if I change one person's life, then I did my job. And I totally believe in that. I've been told that I saved a lot of lives throughout the last couple of years because of my comedy and what I do. And that makes me feel good about myself. It really does. It helps me bring joy that I know that I'm doing the right thing and others are appreciating it. And, and that makes me feel good about myself. It's not about the money of the business to me. To me, it's about doing something for people to make a difference and helping others out that need to be helped and, who are struggling through their own problems in life, and how you deal with it and what you can do to make a difference.
That's what's up. Good words. We'll see that. Hey, Jerry, congratulations on the upcoming show. That term break a leg, I'm really not feeling that term, but I mean good things by saying that. That break a leg, do you know where that comes from?
That's an old thing they had back in the years of comedy, back in the black and white days comedy. They would say, break a leg out there. They would say when they go on like the Ed Sullivan show, or like Johnny Carson show back in the day. Break a leg out there. That's always been a term for comedians to tell people, go break a leg out there. Don't break a leg. Just it's like kill it out there. Make sure just make them laugh. Dude. Be funny. Exactly. And the way to saying it to be funny. Break a leg. I don't like the word break a leg. I never like that term because I'd break a leg and then say I broke a leg.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you feeling happy now? What the what?
Exactly. Now, oh yeah, that's right. The title of your podcast, it's Jerry What Dymond?
Mm-hmm.
Just so people don't get that confused like I did when I typed in the first time, I put in what. So yeah. It's Jerry What Dymond.
That's my stage name, yes.
Understood. And Jerry, I appreciate you so much. Wait
one moment.
One moment. I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
All right. Hey, you guys, parting is such sweet sorrow. This game comes to end another podcast. I'd like to invite you guys to remind you to check out our previous YanBar Podcast guests. And always remember that the YanBar Podcast is a place where you make it happen. Once again, Bryan Barcelo here with Jerry Dymond. Jerry, thank you so much. Don't be a stranger. Continue success.
Thank you.
Love to see you again.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate being on your podcast.
You're welcome so much. And peace, everybody. Thank you, Jerry. Take care.
Thank you.
Welcome.